I bought my first house and invited family for a barbecue. No one showed. They were all taking selfies with my sister's new waiter job. That night, my lights were on, my phone exploded with calls from my dad and text messages from everyone asking where I was during the emergency. Oh, my God. You guys, I honestly still can't believe this happened. My family, the people I thought I could always count on, completely abandoned me at my first ever housewarming party, only for me to discover they were all out celebrating my sister's first day as a waitress, a job she got fired from hours later. And then? They had the audacity to expect me to fix it. Let me rewind a bit. My name's Jackie, I'm 28, and I'd just been through the most eye-opening, gut-wrenching, and ultimately, liberating experience of my life. You see, I'm the middle child. My older brother, Jake, is 32, and my younger sister, Madison, is 24. And our family dynamic? It's always been complicated. I was the responsible one. Straight A's, never caused trouble, worked since I was 16 to put myself through college, and now? I'm a project manager at a tech company. Meanwhile, Jake spent his entire 20s living in our parents' basement, bouncing between odd jobs. And then there's Madison. Oh, Madison. She's the golden child. I love her, truly, but she's always been one of those people who floats through life on pure charm and good looks. Dropped out of college twice, never held a job for more than 6 months, and yet, somehow, she always lands on her feet, usually with a hefty push from mom and dad. My parents, Robert and Linda, always had an excuse for Madison. She just needs to find herself. She's going through a rough patch. But every single one of my achievements? Every milestone I hit? It was met with lukewarm congratulations before they immediately pivoted to whatever crisis Madison was currently navigating. It was exhausting. 3 months ago, a huge thing happened. I bought my first house. Not some mansion, just a modest 3-bedroom ranch, about 40 minutes from my hometown. But it was mine. I'd saved for 4 long years, eating ramen in a tiny studio, scrimping every single penny. When I finally got the keys, I literally cried in the driveway. This was everything I'd worked for. I called my family, so excited to share my news. My dad's reaction? That's great, honey. Hey, did you know Madison got accepted to a bartending course? My mom chimed in with, oh, that's nice, dear. Make sure you get good insurance. Jake at least sounded genuinely happy, but even that call lasted 5 minutes before it spiraled into Madison's latest drama with her on-again, off-again boyfriend. My heart sank, but I tried to push it down. This was my moment, and I wasn't going to let them ruin it. So, 2 weeks ago, I decided to celebrate properly. A housewarming barbecue. I poured hours into planning. Grocery lists, recipes, even bought a fancy new grill, my first big purchase for the house. I was so proud. I wanted to show off my achievement, this tangible proof of my hard work, with the people who mattered most. I sent out a group text, housewarming barbecue at my new place. Saturday at 2 p.m. Can't wait to show you around and celebrate. My friends, Emma and Josh, confirmed immediately. My coworker Melissa said she'd try to make it. Jake said he'd be there. My mom responded with a vague "we'll see," and Dad just hearted the message. Madison? Crickets. Nothing. Friday night, I tried again, hey everyone, just confirming for tomorrow. Barbecue starts at 2 p.m. So excited to see you all. Jake replied, yep, see you there. Mom, probably running late, but we'll try. Dad, a thumbs up emoji. Madison, still nothing. Honestly, I should have known something was up right then. Saturday morning, I woke up at 7 a.m., practically vibrating with excitement. I cleaned the house top to bottom, even though it was already spotless. Set up chairs in the backyard, prepped all the food, strung up some clearance lights. By 1 p.m., everything was perfect. The grill was hot, potato salad chilled, and I'd even made Grandma's famous chocolate chip cookies. At 1:30 p.m., I sent one last text, "Everything's ready. Can't wait to see you all soon." No responses. 2 p.m. came and went. Then 2:30. At 3 p.m., Emma and Josh arrived, and bless their hearts, they gushed over the house and kept the energy up. Melissa showed up around 3:30, but still no family. "I'm sure they're just running late," Emma offered, but I saw the pity in her eyes. By 4 p.m., I was genuinely worried. Had there been an accident? I called Jake. "Oh, hey, Jackie," he answered, and I could hear loud background noise, music, chatter. "What's up? What's up?" "The barbecue, Jake. You said you'd be here." There was a beat of silence. "Oh, was that today? I'm actually at Madison's thing right now." My stomach dropped. "Madison's thing?" "Yeah. She got that job at Marcato, that fancy Italian place downtown. We're all here celebrating. She's getting so many tips, and her photos are getting hundreds of likes already. Mom and Dad are here too. We were gonna swing by later, but this is going so well." My heart didn't just sink, it plunged to the bottom of the ocean. "You're all together right now?" "Yeah. Madison texted the family group chat this morning. Didn't you see it?" A family group chat. That included them. But not me. I checked my phone. Nothing. Let me repeat that, there was no family group chat that included me. I don't think I'm in that chat, Jake." Another, longer pause. "Oh. Well, maybe it was a different chat. Look, I'm sorry about the barbecue. I can probably swing by later." "Don't bother," I said, and hung up. I stood there in my perfect kitchen, staring at all the food I'd made. My friends were trying to make polite small talk in the backyard. And I felt something shift inside me. It wasn't just sadness anymore. It wasn't just disappointment. It was pure, crystalline anger. They had a family group chat without me. And they were all together, celebrating Madison's first day as a waitress like it was her Nobel Prize acceptance, while I stood alone in my first house with a grill full of burgers nobody was coming to eat. My friends stayed until about 7 p.m., and honestly, we had a good time despite everything. But after they left, I sat alone in my empty, quiet house, and the reality of what had just happened slammed into me. This wasn't just about a missed barbecue. This was a pattern. A cruel, undeniable pattern I'd been too blind, or maybe too hopeful, to see clearly. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through Instagram. Sure enough, Madison's feed was blowing up. Professionally taken photos of her in her server uniform, artistic shots of fancy pasta, group photos with my parents and Jake raising wine glasses, toasting her success. The captions were all about following your dreams and so grateful for family support. The comments were nauseating, "You're going to do amazing. Living your best life. Such an inspiration." She was a waitress at a restaurant for one day. Don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with service work. It's honest, hard work, and I respect anyone who does it well. But the fanfare? It was insane. Meanwhile, my actual house purchase hadn't even warranted a single social media acknowledgement from any of them. I looked at my own Instagram. My last post was 2 months ago, a photo of my house keys with the caption, "Dreams do come true. First-time homeowner." It had 47 likes. Madison's waitressing photos from that day? Over 300 each. Then I started diving deeper, down the social media rabbit hole. That's when the full, horrifying extent of the situation hit me. I went back through Madison's posts from the past 6 months, all the major moments my family had rallied around. There was her fitness journey, a mirror selfie at the gym that, based on subsequent posts, lasted exactly 3 visits. The comments from my family? My dad posted a flexing emoji. Mom wrote, "So proud of your dedication. Jake, beast mode." It had 180 likes. Then there was her entrepreneur era, selling handmade jewelry on Etsy. She had an elaborate photo shoot in Mom's garden with professional lighting my dad rented for the occasion. My family shared her posts. My mom bought 5 necklaces she never wore. My dad pitched her business to all his coworkers. Wives. The venture lasted 6 weeks and sold 12 pieces total. But the launch post? 250 likes and comments like CEO in the making. Most recently, her brief stint as a social media influencer with a lifestyle blog called Madison's Moments. Again, the family rallied. Jake designed her logo. Mom drove her around to different coffee shops for content creation. Dad bought her a ring light for her birthday. She posted maybe 15 blog entries over 3 months before losing interest. But every single post was flooded with supportive comments from my family. And me? I scrolled back. When I got promoted to senior project manager last year, a position I'd worked toward for 3 years, I posted a simple photo of my new business cards, 12 likes, no family comments except Jake's thumbs up. When I completed my project management certification, a 6-month commitment while working full-time, I shared a photo of my certificate, 8 likes. Mom hearted it. 2 days later, my company won a major contract that I had led the proposal for, a career-defining moment that came with a significant bonus. I posted about it, genuinely excited and proud. 5 likes. 0 family engagement. The contrast was devastating. It made me realize that my family had, unconsciously or not, divided us into roles. Madison was the star, whose every fleeting interest deserved documentation and celebration. And I was the reliable supporting character, handling logistics, providing stability, and staying largely invisible. And it wasn't just attention they were lavishing on Madison. It was money. I'd never really tallied it up before, but the financial aspect was just as stark. Madison's car? A lease Dad co-signed, and Mom helps pay when Madison is between jobs, which is often $400 a month. Me? I've had the same reliable used Honda for 7 years, which I bought myself after months of saving. Madison's apartment in the trendy part of town? Mom and Dad cover her rent temporarily whenever she's unemployed. $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Me? I lived in a studio apartment for 4 years to save for my house down payment. Madison's credit cards? Dad bailed her out 3 times in 5 years, to the tune of thousands of dollars each time. Me? I've never carried a credit card balance because I was taught to live within my means, ironically, by the same parents who kept rescuing Madison from the consequences of not living within hers. Madison's various business ventures, the Etsy shop startup costs, the blog equipment, the gym membership for her fitness journey, the art supplies for her brief painting phase, all funded by family members supporting her dreams. When I wanted to take a project management course to advance my career, I saved up and paid the $800 fee myself. I estimated my parents had spent at least $15,000 on Madison's pursuits and bailouts over the past 2 years. In that same period, they'd spent maybe $200 on me, a birthday dinner and a Christmas gift. But it wasn't just money or attention. It was emotional labor. All the invisible work of maintaining family relationships, managing other people's feelings and problems. Guess who Madison called when she got fired from the boutique? Me. Guess who listened to her cry for 2 hours about how her boss was threatened by her potential? Me. Guess who helped her write a resume that made her spotty work history sound impressive? Me. Guess who Jake called when he was stressed about finding a new apartment? Me. Guess who spent 3 weekends driving around looking at places with him, navigating lease applications? Me. Who organized the family secret Santa, managed the family calendar, planned Mom's surprise 55th birthday party? Me. 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 I was the family's unpaid therapist, their personal assistant, their emotional dumping ground. And when did they call me with good news? Or just to chat? Almost never. Sitting there, in my house, bought with my money, saved through my hard work, I felt something shift permanently. It wasn't just anger anymore. It was breathtaking clarity. I'd always operated under the assumption that family love was unconditional, that if I just kept being patient, supportive, and reliable, eventually I'd get the same energy back. But what if that wasn't true? What if their love was actually very conditional? Conditional on me playing the role of the responsible one who asks for nothing and provides everything? What if the reason Madison got all the celebration wasn't because they loved her more, but because she demanded it and I didn't? What if I got overlooked not because my achievements mattered less, but because I made it easy for them to overlook me by never complaining? What if I'd been enabling this dynamic all along? The thought was terrifying and liberating all at once. Terrifying, because it meant potentially losing relationships that, however flawed, were still my family. Liberating, because it meant I could finally choose to stop participating in a system that diminished me. I decided to do something I'd never done before. I posted about my house on Facebook. Not just a simple picture, but a real, vulnerable post about what it meant to me. 2 years ago, I set a goal to buy my first house before 30. Today, 3 months after closing, I'm reflecting on this journey. It took 4 years of saving, living below my means, researching neighborhoods, learning about mortgages, working towards this dream. There were times I wondered if it would ever happen. But it did. I'm a homeowner. I have my own space, my own garden, my own mortgage I can afford on my own income. I'm proud of myself for sticking to this goal, even when it was hard, lonely, seemingly impossible. This house represents independence, stability, and the power of persistence. I can't wait to fill it with memories. I posted it with photos, the exterior, my favorite room, the garden I was planning, and a photo of me holding my keys. A genuine smile spread across my face. Within an hour, it had more engagement than anything I'd ever shared. Emma and Josh commented immediately, enthusiastic congratulations. Melissa shared it, saying my determination inspired her. Coworkers praised me, offering help with decorating and gardening. The family responses, though? They were telling. Jake liked it and commented, "So proud of you, sis." Nice. Mom hearted it. Dad liked it. Madison? Nothing. Meanwhile, I could see Madison had posted an Instagram story during that same time, a mirror selfie with the caption, "Retail therapy because I deserve nice things." Sparkles, both mom and dad had responded to that with enthusiastic emojis and comments. The contrast was so stark, it was almost funny. Almost. That night, I sat in my backyard with a glass of wine, and had a long, honest conversation with myself. Did I want my family to change? Yes. But I was starting to realize that might not be possible. Did I want to keep feeling invisible and unappreciated? No. Did I want to keep being the family's emotional labor provider without getting anything back? Absolutely not. What I wanted was respect. I wanted my achievements to matter. My feelings to be considered. To be included. To have my time and energy valued, not just assumed. And if I couldn't have those things, then I had to stop giving my time and energy to people who didn't value them. It was a simple realization, but it felt revolutionary. Sunday morning, I woke up, still angry, but with a weird sense of clarity. I decided to do something I'd never done before. I made plans that didn't include my family or consider their schedule. I called Emma. Want to go furniture shopping? I need to furnish this place properly. We spent the day at various stores, and I bought a beautiful dining room set, a new couch, artwork, plants. It felt so good to make decisions for me, without worrying about what anyone else would think. Around 6 p.m., as Emma and I were setting up my new furniture, my phone started ringing. Dad's name flashed on the screen. I let it go to voicemail. Then it rang again. And again. The text started flooding in. "Jackie, call me back urgently." "Where are you? We need you here now." "Jackie, this is serious. Call Dad immediately." "Jackie, where are you? This is an emergency." And then the kicker. A text from an unknown number. Hi, this is David, Madison's manager at Mark Auto. Your family is asking me to contact you. There's been a situation, and they need you here right away. Please come to the restaurant. I stared at my phone like it had grown tentacles. Emma looked at me, wide-eyed. What is it? I showed her the messages. Honestly? I have no idea. My phone rang again. Dad. This time, I answered. Jackie, thank God. You need to get to Mark Auto right now. Madison's in trouble. What kind of trouble? Is she hurt? There was an incident with a customer. She might lose her job. We need you here to help smooth things over. The audacity was breathtaking. I took a deep breath. Dad, let me get this straight. Yesterday, you all skipped my housewarming barbecue, the first major celebration I've ever hosted, to go take Instagram photos at Madison's first day of work. None of you even bothered to cancel or let me know. And now you want me to drive 40 minutes to clean up whatever mess she made? Jackie, this isn't the time. No, Dad. Let me finish. There's apparently a family group chat that I'm not included in. I spent yesterday alone in my new house with a yard full of food and no family, while you guys were playing paparazzi for Madison's server job. And now you want me to drop everything to fix her problems? Silence on the other end. Are you coming or not? I looked around my living room. Emma was pretending to arrange throw pillows, obviously listening. My new furniture looked perfect. My house was quiet and peaceful. I felt more content than I had in years. No, I said. I'm not coming, Dad. And I hung up. The calls and texts continued for the next hour, but I didn't answer any of them. Emma and I ordered Chinese food and watched Netflix on my new couch. Around 10 p.m., the messages stopped. Monday morning, I got a single text from Mom, Madison lost her job. Hope you're happy. I screenshot it and sent it to Emma with the caption, the audacity of this family never ceases to amaze me. But here's where it gets interesting. Tuesday afternoon, I was working from home when my doorbell rang. It was Jake. He looked sheepish, holding a coffee tray from Starbucks. Peace offering, he said. I let him in, mostly because I was curious what spin he'd put on things. We sat in my living room, and he looked around with genuine admiration. Jackie, this place is really nice. I'm sorry I missed the barbecue. Thanks, I said. Look, I need to tell you something about Sunday night. I waited. Madison didn't lose her job because of some customer complaint. No. Jake rubbed his forehead. She was taking selfies during her shift, constantly. Having us pose with her while she was supposed to be working. The manager asked her to stop multiple times. And she got defensive, said we were supporting her dreams, and he was being unprofessional by embarrassing her in front of her family. Then she posted a story on Instagram calling the manager a dream crusher and tagged the restaurant. She didn't realize he could see it. He fired her on the spot. The emergency call to you? Dad thought if you came down and talked to the manager, you could convince him to give her another chance. You know, professional to professional. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud. So, let me make sure I understand this completely. Madison spent her first day of work treating the restaurant like her personal photo studio instead of actually working. When her boss told her to stop, she threw a tantrum, then publicly trash-talked him and the business online. And Dad thought I should drive down there and convince this man to rehire her? Jake nodded miserably. Pretty much. And none of you saw any problem with this plan? He mumbled, well, when you put it like that. Wednesday evening, Mom called. Not Dad, not Madison. We're having a family dinner Sunday. Dad's grilling. Can you come? The casual tone was almost insulting, like nothing had happened. I don't think so. Jackie, we need to talk about what happened as a family. What happened is that you all excluded me from a family event to celebrate Madison's job, which she then lost after one day because she couldn't stop taking selfies. And then you expected me to drop everything to fix her mess. What exactly do we need to discuss? You're being dramatic. Those 3 words. They broke something in me. I'm being dramatic? Mom, I bought a house. A house. I saved for 4 years and achieved a major life milestone, and I wanted to celebrate it with my family. Instead, you all went to take Instagram photos and didn't even bother to cancel. And I'm being dramatic? Madison's going through a tough time? Madison is 24 years old. She's not going through a tough time. She's facing consequences for her actions, for maybe the first time in her life. And instead of letting her learn, you want me to enable it by cleaning up her messes? There was a long pause. So, you're not coming to dinner? Not unless some things change. What things? I want an apology from all of you. A real one. I want acknowledgement that missing my housewarming barbecue was wrong and hurtful. And I want to be included in family communications going forward. Those are my terms, Mom. Take them or leave them. She hung up. Thursday morning, I woke up to a text from Madison. A long one. Jackie, I know you're mad. I get it, but you don't understand how hard this is for me. I really thought this job was going to be different, and now everyone is calling me a failure and saying I can't do anything right. I needed my family there to support me. And yes, maybe I took too many pictures, but I was excited and wanted to share it. You've always been the successful one, so you don't know what it's like to feel like nothing you do matters. I'm sorry you're upset about your barbecue, but I didn't know it was such a big deal to you, and Mom and Dad said we could stop by later anyway. Can't you just forgive me and help me figure out what to do next? I read it 3 times. Then I crafted my response very carefully. Madison, I understand you're disappointed about the job, but let me be clear about a few things. First, I wasn't mad that you took photos. I was hurt that you and the entire family skipped my housewarming barbecue without even canceling or letting me know. Second, there's a family group chat I'm not included in, which tells me that my exclusion was intentional. Third, you lost your job because you prioritized social media over work responsibilities, not because of some external failure. And finally, I am not responsible for fixing the consequences of your choices. I love you, but until you can take accountability for your actions, and until this family can treat me with basic respect, I need some space. She didn't respond. Friday afternoon, Jake showed up again, no coffee this time, just a serious expression. I talked to Mom and Dad. They're not going to apologize. I wasn't surprised, but it still stung. Why not? Dad says you're making mountains out of molehills, and that family should just forgive and move on. Mom thinks you're being stubborn and trying to make Madison's problems about you. I nodded slowly. What do you think, Jake? He was quiet for a long moment. Honestly? I think they've been taking advantage of you for years, and you finally called them out on it. That surprised me. I've been thinking about it since Sunday, he continued. You're right about the pattern. Every time you achieve something, it gets overshadowed by whatever Madison needs. And you just handle it. You're always the one who adjusts, who compromises, who fixes things. I don't think I realized how unfair it was until I saw you standing up for yourself. He paused. So, what are you going to do? I don't know yet. But I'm not going to Sunday dinner unless they apologize to you. Saturday morning, I was deep cleaning my house, just trying to settle in, when my phone buzzed. Madison had tagged me in an Instagram story. It was a screenshot of our text conversation from Thursday. She posted my response, with a caption, "When your own sister abandons you during the hardest time of your life." Broken heart #family first #disappointed sisterhood. The comments were predictably supportive of her. You deserve better. Real family sticks together. Some people are just selfish. But then I noticed something. Several commenters were people I recognized, family friends, distant relatives, people who knew both of us. And their comments weren't what Madison was probably expecting. My cousin Angela wrote, "Wait, Madison, didn't Jackie just buy her first house? Maybe there's more to the story." Our family friend, Mrs. Peterson, "I remember when Jackie graduated college and started that good job. You're lucky to have such a responsible sister." And then the kicker, from my high school friend who knew the whole family, "Didn't Jackie invite everyone to a barbecue that everyone skipped?" I saw the posts. This seems like there might be two sides here. Sweet, sweet karma. Within an hour, Madison had deleted the story. Sunday came and went. I spent it meal prepping, reading on my back porch, and video chatting with Emma. Around 7 p.m., Jake texted me, "Family dinner was awkward." I didn't go. Neither did Madison, actually. Just Mom and Dad. They kept asking where everyone was. That evening, Dad called me. "Jackie, we need to talk. This has gone too far. The family is falling apart." The family fell apart when you decided I wasn't worth including or respecting. That's not. Look, maybe we made some mistakes, but you're being unreasonable. Madison made one error in judgment, and you're holding it against all of us. Dad, Madison didn't make one error in judgment. She made a series of choices that led to consequences. And you, Mom, and Jake, you made choices, too. You chose to skip my housewarming barbecue. You chose to create a group chat without me. You chose to expect me to drop everything to fix Madison's problems. And now you're choosing not to apologize. We're family. Family doesn't keep scorecards. You're right. Family shows up for each other. Family celebrates each other's achievements. Family includes each other. Family doesn't treat one person like a free cleanup service for everyone else's messes. Silence. Are you going to apologize, Jackie? I think you're overreacting, but if it will fix things, fine. I'm sorry we missed your barbecue. That's not an apology, Dad. That's you saying words to make me go away. What do you want me to say? I want you to understand what you did wrong and actually feel bad about it. Jackie, I don't know how to do this. And in that moment, I realized something truly profound. He really didn't know. My family had operated under this dysfunction for so long that they genuinely didn't understand what they'd done wrong. In their minds, Madison's needs always came first, and everyone else just adjusted. It wasn't malicious. It was just the system they'd created. But understanding it didn't mean I had to accept it. Monday morning, I made a decision. I texted the family group chat that Jake had finally added me to. I love you all, but I need to step back from family events and obligations until some things change. I'm not trying to punish anyone or create drama. I'm just protecting my own well-being. When you're ready to treat me as an equal member of this family instead of a supporting character in Madison's life, let me know. The responses came quickly. Mom, this is ridiculous. Dad, you're breaking up the family over nothing. Madison, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Jake, I understand. Take the time you need. It's been 2 weeks since I sent that text, and my life has been peaceful. Really peaceful. I've hung out with Emma and Josh several times. I joined a book club. I went on a date. I planted a garden in my backyard. And my family? Radio silence, except for Jake, who's been checking in every few days. Apparently, Madison got a new job at a coffee shop and lasted 3 days before quitting because they didn't appreciate her aesthetic vision. Mom and Dad are trying to convince her to move back home while she figures things out. Some of my extended family members have reached out, too, after the Instagram story incident. Turns out several of them had noticed the pattern over the years but hadn't felt comfortable saying anything. My cousin Angela even apologized for not speaking up sooner. Yesterday, I got a call from an unknown number. It was David, the manager from Mark Auto. Hi, Jackie. this is David from Mark Auto Restaurant. I hope it's okay that I'm calling you. Of course, but why are you calling? I was confused. Well, this is a little unusual, but I wanted to apologize for involving you in that situation a couple weeks ago. Your family was quite insistent that I contact you, and I realize now that I should have refused. It wasn't appropriate. Oh, it's fine. Not your fault. Actually, I'm calling because I heard from a mutual friend that you work in project management, and we're looking for someone to help us streamline our operations. Would you be interested in consulting for us? I almost laughed out loud. Madison gets fired from a restaurant, and they end up wanting to hire me? I'd be interested in hearing more about it, I said. We're meeting this Thursday. So, here I am, writing all this out because I need to process it. In the span of 2 weeks, I went from being the family doormat to being completely estranged from most of my family. And the weirdest part? I'm not sad about it. I'm angry, yes. I'm disappointed, absolutely. But I am not sad. I'm relieved. For the first time in my adult life, I'm making decisions based on what I want and need, not on what will cause the least drama for everyone else. I'm not constantly bracing myself for the next Madison crisis, or wondering when I'll be called upon to fix something that isn't my responsibility. I miss the idea of my family, the version of them I always hoped they could be. But I don't miss the reality of how they actually treated me. Update, the apology, sort of. I was going to post this yesterday, but then something happened I need to add. This morning, Mom called me. Jackie, I've been thinking about what you said. Okay. Maybe we did take you for granted sometimes. It wasn't the apology I wanted, but it was more self-awareness than I'd expected. I think we got used to you being so capable and reliable that we forgot you have feelings, too. I do have feelings, Mom. And I have needs. And I matter just as much as Madison does. I know that. I've always known that. Then why didn't you act like it? Long pause. I don't know. I guess Madison was always so dramatic about everything that she got more attention. And you were so independent that we thought you didn't need as much validation. Everyone needs validation, Mom. Especially from their family. I'm sorry we missed your barbecue. I'm sorry we made you feel left out. I'm sorry we expected you to drop everything for Madison when we wouldn't do the same for you. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. I could hear in her voice that she meant it. Thank you for saying that. Can you forgive us? I can forgive you, but forgiveness doesn't mean everything goes back to the way it was. Things need to change. What do you need from us? I need to be included. I need my achievements to be celebrated, not just tolerated. And I need Madison to face consequences for her actions without everyone expecting me to fix them. That's fair. And I need Dad and Madison to apologize, too. Real apologies. I'll talk to them. Final update this morning, I got a text from Madison. Jackie, I'm sorry I got you excluded from stuff and I'm sorry I took your barbecue day for granted. I know I mess up a lot and I know you always help fix things and I never really said thank you. I don't want you to hate me. It's not the most articulate apology, but knowing Madison, it's probably the most self-aware thing she's ever said. Dad texted an hour later, I'm sorry I missed your housewarming and I'm sorry I expected you to solve Madison's work problem. I'm proud of you for buying your house and I should have said that more. I don't know if my family will actually change long term. Patterns that have been in place for decades don't disappear overnight. But for the first time, they're at least acknowledging that the patterns exist, and that they're unfair to me. I'm still taking things slowly with them. I agreed to have coffee with Mom this weekend, just the two of us. Jake and I are planning to go furniture shopping for his new apartment. He's finally moving out of the basement. And Madison and I are going to have a conversation soon about boundaries and expectations. But regardless of what happens with them, I've learned something incredibly important about myself. I am worth more than being everyone's backup plan. I am worth celebrating. I am worth including. I am worth apologizing to when I've been wronged. And my house? It's perfect. I'm hosting Emma and Josh for dinner tomorrow night. I'm making homemade pasta. No drama, no family emergencies, no crisis management required. Just good food, good friends, and my beautiful, peaceful home. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't getting back at the people who wronged you. Sometimes, it's just living well and refusing to accept less than you deserve. Oh, and yeah, I got the consulting job at Mark Otto. Turns out being the responsible one actually is worth something after all.